Hi everyone, I am so thrilled to be here speaking to you, just as I was honored to be standing next to Alan during what was an incredibly beautiful and moving ceremony. Mausumi, to say that you're a radiant bride doesn't do you justice. You're absolutely stunning. You know that you're absolutely stunning, but it bears repeating, amazing. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about you in a minute. But first, I want to talk about that husband of yours. As Ryan said, my name's Matt, and I met Alan when we were in the same 7th grade homeroom. That spring, we were also on the same Little League baseball team. So imagine his surprise then, just 2 years later, during our sophomore year of high school, when I extended my hand and said, "Nice to meet you, I'm Matt." He was a quiet boy. Quickly, easily forgiving my obliviousness, Alan and I struck up a friendship that's endured over the last 20 years, which is disgusting. 20 years. If you're not lucky enough to know Alan well, I can honestly tell you that this man in the nice suit is the single funniest person I've ever met in real life. That's no exaggeration. And while you'd think that that quality would have led to more success in his stand-up comedy or improv careers, I think that grazing the outskirts of a vast potential is but one of Alan's many charms. It's a compliment. It's a compliment.
It's so funny because it's true.
Alan may not always be the most outwardly bold person, but that only makes him more endearing, since he's never afraid of being utterly himself. I've admired that trait since the day I met him. The day I met him the second time, yeah, the day I met you the second time. And I've remained in awe of it ever since. A real-life, genuine character. Alan is honest, he's humble, and he's insanely creative. Now, I could regale you with humorous anecdotes about Alan, but those are probably better left for private conversations. Yes, we shared a pair of underwear, but what two buddies haven't done that from time to time? It's not weird. And yeah, we psyched ourselves up for high school tennis matches by rocking out to "We Are the World." Right? Now raise your hand if you've done that. It's everyone. We've all, right? But instead of the folly, I'd like to talk to you all about the reason we're all here today. And that reason is love. I met this Mausumi, one spring day 4 years ago, the same day I introduced Alan to the woman I would marry. I don't applaud for her. It's my time. My first thought when I met Mausumi was one echoed by everyone who met the new couple. What the hell was she doing with him? It was easy to see, and it's still easy to see, why Alan fell for Mausumi. How many smart, beautiful, fun, and funny doctors will even talk to you, much less date you. Harder to figure out was what drew Mausumi to Alan. And I love him. But as I got to know Alan and Mausumi together, the reasons became clear. And those reasons were announced so well and so beautifully and so heartfelt in the ceremony this afternoon that it would be silly for me to try to come up with alternate words because they said it themselves better than I could. But I think that it's just important for us all to recognize that Mausumi loves Alan because of who and what he is, and not in spite of who and what he isn't. Hashtag Alsumi, which is the tabloidish name that I've come up with for the two of you, and I encourage you to tweet about this event with that hashtag tonight. It's hashtag Alsumi, A-L-S-U-M-I. Alsumi are a perfect pair. She is his rock, his tangible link to a world that's unkind to someone with an artist's soul. And he is her release, her salvation from a clinical world and a smile at the end of every day. Before I go any further, I think it's important to once again acknowledge two important people who aren't here today. As most of you know, Alan's mom passed away a few years ago, and his dad just last month. And I just want to say that no matter what you believe in, or how you manifest that belief in your life, I hope you can agree that they would be incredibly proud of their son today. They would be overjoyed at the journey he's starting because they couldn't possibly feel any other way. On that note, excuse me, I'd like to ask you all to raise your glasses. To Alan and Mausumi, Alsumi, may your lives together be filled with love and happiness, with art and with science. And and with the wealth of friends and family forever. To the bride and the groom, l'chaim.